Hello Libra friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Libra October 2025 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. I'm calling the theme of this month Libra's Loving Life, your guide to Libra season and beyond. And I'm going to get into all the goodies of what I'm super excited about for Libras this month and the dicey parts to watch out for. This is for you if Libra is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Libra placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Libra friends, so birthdays like October 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23 degree Libra placements through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Scorpio report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. So wow, Libras, okay, this is your time. We start out the month. We already have had the sun in your sign, Mercury is here, Venus is going to join the party, and this is all lighting up your house of rebirth, of physical endurance and stamina, of focus on you, of you in the limelight, of you figuring out what you want to present to the world, you diving deep into self-discovery, into your physical body, and you sharing lots of information about the things that you need through this discovery process that you have been through until this time. Because what happens before your birthday is these personal planets move through the 12th house, and then they get you all introspective and they get you thinking about stuff. And so you may still be in that time at this point, because those of you who, depending on if you're early, middle, or late degree Libras, this happens over the course of a month or so. So you're either in the time where you're still in this deliberation process or you're doing the rebirth thing. All right. So you figure out what is ailing you, what is the problem, what you've been avoiding, what you need, what you want. And then now you've got the sun in your sign and Mercury helping to deliver the communication of what it is that you need. And this is a very, very big storyline, because right at the beginning of the month, one of our first points of note for the dates, we'll say just the whole first 10 days and the closer to October 6th, we've got a full supermoon in your opposing sign. And that's going to light up your partnership sector. So fullness, completion, fruition, drama, for better or worse, accomplishments, something significant occurring, elucidating in your relationship space. If there's something hidden there and you've been knowing it, maybe it will come out. If there's something that you've been trying to build or create with your partner, you may birth it. And it's an amazing time for new births, especially until around October 21st, when the tides will change and we'll start to go into a couple of month process of Mercury retrograde, which will build slowly starting from that point. But from August 26th until the third week in October, then, really through all of the Libra time, it's very much going to be about making those big decisions. And some of the big decisions might be coming from the eclipses. So I'm only going to touch on the eclipses. I've talked a lot about them in the August and September reports. You can go back and listen to those. You can also go to anniehelpsyou.com. When you sign up for my free email VIP letter, in the welcome letter, you'll get my eclipse resource page, which has special videos on your placements, which you can find. So all of those are resources you can use to learn more about the eclipses, because I'm not going to cover them here, except to say that we still may be getting news from the eclipses, because the last one was September 21st. So in the beginning of October, we're just 10 days out of a major eclipse, and, just some weeks out of the first major eclipse. September into early October, maybe, one of the most intense months of the whole year, and you will feel that. But now as October goes on, that feeling like you have your finger stuck in a light socket may start to relax. The new trajectory from the changes that happened with the eclipses may be starting to take shape. But if you do have to make decisions based on news or information that came to you, or based on things that are elucidated from this supermoon on October 6th at 14 degrees of 14 degrees of Aries opposing the Libra sign, then at least you've got good stars for making decisions, because the tides are going out. All right, so any decisions you make now have a chance to have more impact for a longer period of time. And then as of October 21st, the tides will change and start coming in, which means that anything you throw out onto the tides will come back to you quicker. So if you're trying to do a promo or get something with an immediate response, it could be great for that, October 21st and on for about 8 weeks or so. But if you're trying to do your big decisions, get your clarity, all of that, you may have more clarity and ability to plan for the future and even plan for the month in the first 3 weeks. You'll see what I mean. The tides will change and you'll start to feel it. The more you pay attention to it, I promise you, you will notice. So this is a time for action in the first 3 weeks. And all of this Aries energy is making you want to take action. Some of these are long-term placements. Neptune, Eris, Chiron, they are there in Aries opposing Libra for a long time. These are deep storylines at play. But Ceres is there short term, and this full moon is there short term. So there's something being elucidated about your autonomy within relationships, your independence, clearing out codependency, moving towards interdependency, and, just getting more of what you want out of your relationships, being able to communicate what you need, and tuning in to go to deeper levels with the people that are important to you. So this is definitely going to be a big deciding time for that. Something else that's going on is, as the month progresses, the Sun, Mercury, and then Venus will all get into Scorpio, joining Mars already there, and Lilith is already there. So you'll be starting to discern which relationships you want to go deeper into, which ones you need to take a break from, which ones need work, and you'll get your game plan together, and then the Scorpio planets will help you to go deeper into the things that you decide. Something else that these Scorpio planets will help you do is focus on your money. All right, all of this is lighting up your financial sector, your earned income, your value of yourself and your services, how you spend money, how you make money. So you'll have a lot of crowding in that sector, and you'll be very, very concerned and interested in your financial story. If your financial story is holding you back, you may be able to change that. And so just identifying that you have a pattern, maybe taught to you by your parents, either directly or indirectly, and is that serving you well? That's the kind of question you may ask at this time. If it is, great. Enhance it or just leave it alone. If it's not, you may start to get insights with how to change it. If someone has something that you don't have, it's possible that they know something that you don't know. And you can learn those things. So this may be a time of discovery for what those things can be so that you can step into your financial dreams, what you want that to look like. So in my title, Libra's Loving Life, I want to talk about some really, really positive things that are happening. In the short term, we talked about some of that. I mean, you have all this Libra energy, but also in the long term, I have been trying to bring this in most reports because even though it's a long-term transit, it is happening now. And it is happening for a long time, and it is fabulous. All right, so Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius now for about 20 years. It will be there. And it's trining your Libra placements. Where it was before in Capricorn was dogging you from 2008 until recently. And it was at a very, very difficult angle for Libras. You were going through strife with your home and family and housing and your inner world. And that may have lasted for really just way too long. But now that Pluto is here, it's starting to enhance the things that you love. The fifth house is your hobbies. It's the house ruled by Leo naturally. For Libras, Aquarius rules that. It's an Aquarius layer to that Leo house. So now you're asking the long-term questions. What brings you great joy? What do you love to do? And how you can do more of it? You may also be asking the question with all this money stuff, how can you monetize the things you love? And that's a double-edged sword. Because sometimes once you start monetizing the things you love, the nature of your relationship with those things can change. But at the same time, there's that saying, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And this is a time for Libras to start really asking that question if you haven't already gotten deeply into that. What could you do every day that you would love to do so much that it doesn't even feel like you're working, but that you can earn what you need? And Pluto can help you with that. Is your true love in your life? If not, Pluto can help you with that. If your true love is here, but you need healing and transformation, Pluto can help you with that. If you want to have children and you're having trouble, don't give up. I cannot tell you how many times it has happened that people, including myself, where people have said, either if you don't have kids now, you're not going to be able to, or that you won't be able to have children, or something like that. And sometimes that will turn out to be true. But I've seen so many times where people who allegedly could not have children have them. So if you have dreams about being a parent, whether birthing your own children or adopting children, Pluto can help with that. So if working with kids or having children is what you need to be loving life, Pluto is on your side. And in the short term, Pallas Athena is here too. This is very exciting. We don't talk about her very often. She's my favorite star goddess. So Pallas Athena, she is, I would call her a multi-goddess. She rules a lot of different things. She is a daughter of Zeus and sister to Ares, ruler of war. She is a strategist of war. But one of the things that she helps you do is to figure out ways around the things that seem impossible. So now in the shorter term, you have Pallas Athena in your sector of creativity and children and romance and true love and your bucket list and the things you've always wanted to do, giving you ideas about how you can make those things happen. Maybe the information will come to you through this nice Mercury in your sign. Maybe it will be that you have a sudden insight and Pallas Athena gives you this amazing idea of how you can, have your family that you want to have, or enhance your children's lives, or, meet your perfect partner. Pallas is here looking for solutions that transcend the normal and the obvious. She does also rule a lot of things having to do with the daily mundane things, like things that earn money. She's very much, there are a lot of stories about her, but one of them has to do with her inventing weaving. And weaving, in the time when all of this was going on with these mythological stories, was very, very, very important. It took a very, very important place in the society. And those types of roles that take an important place through job, through work, Pallas Athena rules those things. But she also rules the bigger picture, where you're trying to put together what you have to do in order to have the life that you want. So she's a strategist. So you've got strategy on your side to help you live the life that you will love the most. Now, if you've gone through a lot of difficult times, and I know a lot of Libras have been going through a lot of difficult times, especially in the home and family sector, especially in the relationship sector. If you've had challenges there, maybe it's also manifested through health, then you may need to seek some assistance with healing that trauma and drama and changing your nervous system, because it may still be echoing out. Like maybe things are getting better now, but your nervous system is still fried. Or maybe, you can't relax because of things that you went through. You're entering a long-term period of time where you've got not only Pluto, but Uranus, oh my gosh, making a trine to your placements. And now it's making a grand trine. And this is true in the whole house chart for all Libras. If you're looking at the Placidus chart, those of you in the early sector of Libras, so birthdays like September 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, you all may get an extra special kiss from this grand trine from the Placidus chart perspective. But in the whole house chart, everybody is having this activation of your energetic that rules your Libra placement, because Uranus and Pluto are in this most favorable aspect in all of astrology called the trine, and they're locked into this configuration for the long term. Like they have been here, they're going to be here together in close proximity for a while. And that's amazing for everybody, but it's especially amazing for air signs, which you are one. And specifically for Libra, it's making a double trine for you. You're the only one that gets to have that double trine from this. So it's very exciting. And what is Uranus doing? Uranus is uplifting you into your expanded version of yourself, giving you more positivity and optimism, helping you feel like you can make it through and that you can have hope. And you may have a very direct experience of the divine in this time. I was just having a conversation with one of my best friends from childhood today, and we were talking about how spirituality, religion, whatever word feels better to you, it's easy to teach people this, when they're kids, as they get older, of the principles of certain religions or spirituality. But until someone has their own experience of the divine, it stays a lot on the intellectual realm. It's very difficult to connect in. But you may have a very real experience of the divine with Uranus here, the planet of surprise and things out of the blue in this beautiful angle for you. Now, it also happens to be that Sedna is locked in this trine configuration. And this is helping to unlock not just humanity, but we'll go drill down to you personally in your personal life, just a whole new way of doing things. So for instance, when Sedna changed signs in the past, we went from hunter-gatherers to agriculture. Like that type of change in humanity. Now we're going through entering the virtual realm, not having to be in a location to work. Those kind of things are what Sedna is bringing to humanity now that it's in Gemini. It's completely changing our communication. AI is part of all of this. But specifically for Libra, this is trining for you. So the ways that you went about doing things can be completely changed now. And this is in a sweet aspect. This is not a point of conflict. So, wow. Yeah, a lot going on there, right? All right, let's talk about some more dates. Okay, so you got the fullness. Expect the drama in the beginning of the month, for better or worse. Something in the relationship is going to happen near October 6th. I want to give you a little bit more detail about this. October 6th, the full supermoon in Aries. You'll be feeling it. Everyone in the Libra sign and spectrum will have an opportunity to feel and use this energy. If you are between 9 and 19 degrees, the closer to 14 degrees, the more you're going to get a direct opposition hit from this. You will notice it more. And that will correspond to basically the first 10 days of October. And the closest to around the 4th, 5th, or 6th or something like that, you may get more of a direct hit. So when we get a direct hit, this is more intense. This is more pronounced. This is more obvious that it's going on. Sometimes when we don't have a direct hit, it stays in the awareness, or it's on a deeper subconscious level that these things are happening. But sometimes we don't notice them as much as when it locks into a mathematical configuration like it will for you group in there. And I almost forgot. I'm so glad that I cycled back around to this, because in the days around October 21st, we're going to have a new moon in Libra, joining all of the other placements, Venus, the Sun, Mercury. In Libra, you get to have your new moon. So unless there's a black moon, we usually just have one new moon in our sign in a 13 moon cycle. And the days around October 21st, you'll be feeling your new moon. So if you want to make intentions for your relationships, if you want to make intentions for your physical health, everything first house, how you present yourself to the world, how what really makes you feel like yourself. This new moon can help you with those intention setting processes that can be very, very, very powerful. Okay, so something else to know is that we do have at least 16 salty aspects, not including aspects with star goddesses. That's just with the other, the usual planets we look at. And they will be dotted throughout the month. It also includes 5 oppositions. So that's going to be, some tensions running high. Oppositions are going to highlight polarity. You're going to experience a lot of this directly because some of those oppositions are with Libra planets, with these Aries planets I was telling you about. And that's going to happen in your me-we sector, in the signs of me versus we. So, there's always this push and pull with yourself versus other people and trying to maintain your autonomy. This is a constant storyline we always have for Libras, people pleasing and trying to take care of yourself and other people needing stuff, and you seeing yourself through the lens of other people and trying to, keep a pure view of yourself. It's a constant thing. So this is going to be happening throughout the month, but we do also have 2 clusters of sweet spots. October 8th through October 14th, we've got a series of sweet aspects, and then October 24th through October 30th, we have another series of sweet aspects. So just kind of look out for those time periods if you want to plan something. Throughout the month, there are going to be these sort of dicey things going on. But those are your clusters of sweet aspects. And if you want more details about what those aspects are, go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in the welcome letter. You'll get instructions on how to access my Sweet and Salty Dates report. If you love astrology and you resonate with how I teach and you want to learn either just to help yourself and your family or your friends or to do astrology professionally, it always boggles my mind at how you can invest a small amount into learning astrology as a system, but you have that skill for your whole life and you can earn an unlimited amount of income for helping people. It's just very exciting to be able to do that. And I can teach you how. I have a systematic approach that will help you to give an amazing reading every time and feel confident asking for exchange for that time. So go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. If you want to know about these outer planet changes and how they may affect your personal chart, go to anniebclarity.com, Annie, the letter B, clarity.com, to see my personalized outer planet transit report. And then, of course, go to anniehelpsyou.com to sign up for my free VIP access, which you will get all of my posts early before they're public, and you will get my eclipse resource page, my retrograde resource page, my zodiac health tips, and a lot more. When you go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.